Hello and welcome to the season opener of the BTCC F1000 Championship here at Brands Hatch. These superbike powered single seaters are some of the fastest racing in the country, and one man who knows a lot about it is Paul Butcher. Paul, you've been around here for 15 years, you've never actually won a championship, came second twice. What can we expect to see this season?
Well, I'm going to hope to try and go one better. Having come second twice, winning the championship is definitely unfinished business, but I mean, whatever else, this series always gives really good racing. I mean, it's very, very close. Driving standards are very high. I mean, we put on a really good show most seasons.
Yeah, it's very fast as well.
Very fast. I mean, we hold the outright lap record at a couple of circuits, and we're there or thereabouts on just about all the other ones.
Yeah, and the quicker you go in these, the grippier it gets.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about getting heat in the tyres. I mean, we had this morning, the qualifying was really damp, and the trick was who could get the most heat in the tyres for qualifying.
So the qualifying isn't really going to resemble what's going to happen in this race because it's dry and it's perfect conditions.
Yeah, well, certainly it'll be easier, but I mean, Mike's on pole, and he's one of the guys you would expect to be there or thereabouts. So yeah, we'll see what we can do from second row on the grid.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
And with that, I'll hand you to our commentator, Andy McEwen.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Yes, here we go, ready for a new season of F1000 racing. Here's how they line up for round one. Michael Watton, as was alluded to there, is on pole position alongside Dan Clowes. Paul Butcher and Alok Iyengar are on row two, ahead of Elliott Mitchell, Adam Walker, Dax Ward and Peter Lague. Then it's Robert Bailey, Christopher Hill and David Wheal at the tail end of the field. So we are about ready to go racing. On board here with Dan Clowes as the red lights go on. They go out now, and the Speed Group F1000 Championship of 2018 is underway. Dan does make a good start as he heads up towards Paddock Hill Bend. He's up alongside Michael Watton, the pole sitter, but Michael has that inside line. Just about hangs on. Up the hill we go towards Druids for the first time. Paul Butcher slots into third. Here comes Clowes though, again around the outside of Watton. This could work if he could hang around the outside to get the inside for Graham Hill Bend. Don't think he did. This is the scrapping going on further back. The blue car ahead with a bit of smoke trailing from behind it is Alok Iyengar. The green car in front of us is Elliott Mitchell, and we are on board with Adam Walker in the car number 14. So the train driver from Leeds we are on board with here as he head down the Cooper Straight and into the quick left-hander at Surtees. But already we have this slight breakaway at the front of the field. Three cars starting to make their escape, unsurprisingly perhaps being led by the reigning champion Michael Watton. There he is, he streaks across the start-finish line. Clowes in second, Butcher there in third position in the number 42 car. Paul Butcher, who's been racing in this series since 2010, one of the most experienced drivers in the championship. He's finished runner-up in the championship the last 2 years on the bounce. He really would like to go one better. We heard him discussing with Anthony in the paddock before the race how keen he is to take that championship away from Michael Watton. That's going to be easier said than done though, and in this race he first of all has to dispatch the fast-starting Dan Clowes. Dan works his way through this very quick left-hander, the man from Newcastle under Lyme, Northerner, making the trip down here to the southeast of England and Brands Hatch for the season start. He's another driver who's been racing in this championship since actually even longer than Paul Butcher, so these are two of the most experienced drivers. Michael Watton, on the other hand, he made his debut in these cars back in 2010 but hadn't done full seasons really until we got into the mid-north. About 2013, 2014 is when he started to compete full-time, but was immediately on the pace, winning the championship, Michael Watton, last season for the first time. Paul Butcher then makes his way down into Graham Hill Bend again, chasing down Dan Clowes in front. The gap seems to have stabilised between them. Paul will be very frustrated here though because he can see the race leader pulling away. Already though, the race leader is about to start negotiating a few of the cars towards the tail end of the field, so we'll see who they come across first. The back markers doing their very best to stay out of the way, which they do. Of course, one of the key things when you're going a lap down is to have an eye on your mirrors, not just be looking out in front of you, because the leaders will be coming. This is the battle going on behind though. This is Mitchell defending from Adam Walker, on board again with Adam as we drop down the gears into Paddock Hill Bend. There's a back marker getting in the way here as well though, and that's going to really stack everybody up as they make their way uphill towards Druids. And Alok Iyengar in the blue number 44 car, still with lots of smoke coming through from the exhaust there. He has fallen back into their clutches. They put a lap now on Christopher Hill in the number 18 car, the man from Runcorn, another northerner, and that rather bottled this little group up, didn't it? So Alok looked as though he was pulling away. Indeed he was, I believe, but now Elliott Mitchell and Adam Walker back with him. Walker has a little look up the inside there in towards Clearways, and also Dax Ward in the red and white car at the tail end of this group is starting to close in as well. So Dax, the 46-year-old, is looking now in what is his third season of F1000 racing to work his way a bit further up the championship leaderboard. 8th he was in points last season, Dax, and he is running at the moment in 7th place, but there's an opening here at the inside potentially for 5th position there for Adam Walker, but like Elliott Mitchell closed the door, then runs a bit wide again coming out of Druids, and so Elliott Mitchell does hang on despite a slightly scrappy start to this particular lap. There he is in the dark green number 11 car. Elliott works his way now down the back straight. One of the great things about F1000 racing is we have a real range of drivers. Elliott Mitchell, one of the younger drivers, 22 years of age, is the man from Yorkshire, and he is going up against some of the much more experienced competitors. Peter Lague, by far the most advanced in years, the 76-year-old, proving that you can still go racing no matter what your age is. It really is just a number. And then everything down to, as I mentioned, the 22-year-old Elliott Mitchell, who I believe is the youngest driver we have racing with us this season. Doing well is Elliott as he turns his way back up through the right-hander at Druids, but once again for the second lap in succession runs a little bit wide. It allows Adam Walker to get alongside, but it doesn't really matter too much because the next two corners are left-handers. That one there at Graham Hill Bend, and then this very quick one at Surtees, where you really can't run side by side anyway. But I did spy in front of us there may be another back marker about to go a lap down, so we need to watch out for. Yes, there it is, just staying well out of the way. I think that was David Wheel going one lap down. Check in though with our race leader Michael Watton, who's already pulling away fairly handsomely at the front of the field. Negotiates another back marker there as he makes his way out of Druids and down towards Graham Hill Bend. Inch perfect is Michael, as we've come to expect from him really. He has already set the fastest lap of the race as well, 45.920. Just to give you some sort of idea of how tricky conditions were in qualifying, that's 3 seconds quicker than he went in qualifying when he set the pole position time. And look, he's checked out now from this battle for second between Clowes and Butcher. Out of Clearways to come, back through Clark Curve and onto the main straight. Paul Butcher chasing down the second place man, all in what's become an iconic colour scheme for him now, this purple and yellow number 42 car. Makes his way back up the hill towards Druids. There he goes, closing right in now on the green machine in front. Former Caterham Scholarship runner back in 1999 when he started racing Caterhams, Paul Butcher, and then making the switch into single seaters about 10 years or so later, where he has achieved success, multiple race victories in F1000 racing for Paul Butcher, but not yet been able to take the championship silverware. Back out through towards the end of another lap they go. They really are rattling the laps off here. Only a 15-minute race, but with lap times down in the 45-second bracket, we're likely to see something in the region of 20 laps, I think, over the course of the 3 Speed Group F1000 races that we have here this weekend. 1 today and 2 tomorrow. An awful lot of track time for your money with F1000 racing, with a qualifying session and a race on the Saturday, 2 races on the Sunday this weekend as well. So it really is, if you want to go single-seater racing, not only is it one of the fastest single-seater categories in the world, certainly in the country, it is also fairly affordable really. You can get yourself into this championship for a full season for somewhere in the region of £10,000, which I realise to some will be an eye-watering figure, but as far as motor racing is concerned, that is very affordable. There's no such thing as cheap motor racing, but there is such a thing as affordable motor racing. When you consider the performance that you get from these 1000cc motorbike engined single seaters, that really is fairly impressive. Both Suzuki and Yamaha motorcycle engines allowed in the F1000 Championship. Incredibly light though, incredibly quick, and the acceleration in particular is remarkable. 0 to 60 time, 3 seconds, which is really, that'll give you whiplash, that won't it, if you get away pretty sharply. Or Michael Watton there having to negotiate a couple of slower cars. David Wheel there, the red number 83 car, one of those cars getting out of the way, but having the 2 back markers were running side by side, that did rather make life difficult for Michael Watton. David Wheel there is running within the invitational class, which is new for 2018, the Speed Group F1000 Championship, and that is for older cars that aren't homologated to the championship regulations particularly, but as long as they get express permission, they are eligible to race, and it's a great chance for some of the older machinery to get back out there and compete. So David Wheel, the only entrant in the invitational class this weekend, but we are hopeful that more will start to come along. There are plenty of these cars out there, both the current specification F1000 car and some of the older machines as well, and if we can just start dragging a few more of them out of the woodwork, then we can get a really good grid of invitational class cars within the field itself. Back on board with Michael Watton there, taking fourth gear through Paddock Hill Bend, plunging downhill. That really is a stunning corner, isn't it? Paddock Hill Bend, and then hard on the brakes into Druids. More lappery to be done here. Staying well out of the way there is the number 33 car. That's Robert Bailey. Doing a good job there of sticking out of the way, the building and property developer. And then the next one, by the looks of it, is going to be Peter Lague, isn't it? Yes, in the number 9 car. It's his 51st race meeting at Brands Hatch here, and he is someone who's been racing for an awfully long time. He, back in the 60s, in fact, was racing with the likes of Jackie Stewart and Jim Clark in various forms of racing. He won 2 BBC Grandstand trophies back in the late 60s, so that's when he started his racing career. Peter Lague, one of the most experienced racing drivers in the country, you'd imagine, let alone in this championship. There's Rob Bailey going a lap down to Paul Butcher, who is now second. So Paul Butcher has found a way past Dan Clowes, so we didn't see where he did it. Clowes, though, is trying to fight back. Look, as we make our way down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend, and Butcher will defend the inside line. Nicely done. Now, I doubt that Michael Watton is catchable, to be perfectly honest, but what can Paul Butcher do about building a margin now over Dan? Dan Clowes will do his best to latch onto the gearbox of the number 42 machine, I'm sure. This is the chance for Butcher to prove whether he actually did have any excess pace over what Dan Clowes was capable of. If he did, then he should be able to pull a bit of a gap. He'll have to negotiate Peter Lague before he can do that, though. He's going to catch Peter, I think, going through Paddock Hill Bend. He's lucky, just on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend is where he'll catch the number 9 car. It just looks stunning. A lot of the cars out there have really eye-catching liveries. Peter's car staying well out of the way there, so allows the second place battle through nicely. But thus far, he's not been able to pull a big gap over Dan, has he? So the number 8 machine is staying in touch just about. Through right-hander we go. Dan Clowes chasing down Paul Butcher now. The hunter becomes the hunted. Dan, who has been racing in these kind of cars for a long time, as I mentioned earlier on, but actually started in supercarts, which I guess you can sort of see why he's been able to apply those principles into F1000 racing, because the basic principle of a supercart is to make something that's very, very light, runs very, very low to the ground, has a ridiculous amount of power, ridiculously high power to weight ratio, and is capable of lacking at breakneck speeds. And that really is a very similar idea to what we have here with the Speed Group F1000 concept. Oh, back marker's getting in the way though here through Surtees, and Dan could have an opportunity here to try and challenge Butcher. That looks like that's David Wheel about to go another lap down in front of us in the Mark 4 car. Yes, it is. He stays well out of the way, but the car before that, unintentionally, but he did hold up Paul Butcher slightly there. But of course, sometimes when you're going a lap down, you have to turn into the corner at some point. And if that means that you end up inadvertently blocking some of the quicker cars coming through, then that is just part of racing, unfortunately. As frustrating as it is for the leaders, you can't expect the back markers to simply disappear. That is Elliott Mitchell, and that is a drama, I fear, for the number 11 car. So Elliott, sadly, is touring round to the pit lane, one would imagine. We are getting into the final portion of this race, but he doesn't feel that he can limp the car home. So Elliott Mitchell, sadly, out of the race. He will be not the only retirement from this race, because we also lost a little bit earlier on Dax Ward. Dax Ward pulled off the road, and Christopher Hill has also pulled off. So we've had 3 cars, unfortunately, fail to make it to the finish, but all of the front runners are still circulating. Certainly Watton, Butcher and Clowes have been the class of the field in this race. They did start first, second and third on the grid, so I guess that shouldn't be too much of a surprise. answer to my question earlier on, though, when I was wondering whether Paul Butcher would be able to pull away from Dan Clowes, the answer appears to be no. I know that traffic has come into play slightly. So far, Clowes has been able to hang on to him. Michael Watton has had a fairly lonely race thus far. He comes across the start-finish line once again, but he's pulled out now this very, very handsome lead that is somewhere in the region of 5.5 seconds already. And you can see in the background, well, there is no one to see in the background as he turns into Druids in beautiful isolation here. Michael, who started his racing career with arrive and drive karting, which is something you can still do these days. If you fancy getting yourself into a go-kart, head down to your local karting circuit, either indoor or outdoor. The vast majority of them do arrive and drives, and you can put yourself into one of those things and see what you've got. Well, that's what Michael started doing back in 1997 when he first sat in a go-kart, went on into competing junior go-karting in the early noughties, making the switch to car racing in 2011 when he started racing Formula 1000, F1000 cars. Down through Paddock Hill Bend he goes. And he has really had a very, very calm race so far, after the brief challenge that Dan Clowes offered on the first lap. Really, since then, Michael hasn't been able to touch him. There is David Wheel again, the Mark IV car running within the invitational class. This is his debut in F1000 racing, David. There is Michael Watton, so he's about to put him a lap down. Another car there getting out of the way as well. One of the white machines, either Chris Hill or potentially that was Rob Bailey. But on to the final lap goes Michael Watton. He does manage to put David Wheel a lap down. And Michael heads up towards Druid's corner for the final time, and it's going to be the perfect start to his title defence. It's always a potentially risky thing to do, to come back and defend the championship victory, because all of a sudden you've got the big target on your back. But in this race at least, no one's really had a chance to see that target, because he pulled off into a handsome lead within the first couple of laps, really, and then checked out, was never seen again by any of the other front runners. So out of the final corner comes Michael Watton, and he is about to see the checkered flag and win round number 1 of the 2018 Speed Group F1000 Championship. He slows to a crawl to celebrate as he takes the checkered flag. There is a big wait back for second place, which should be Paul Butcher, but it only just. Dan Clowes stayed right with him there to the end. Confirmation of the result then, a 6.2 second winning margin in the end for Watton over Butcher and Clowes. Iyengar is 4th, Adam Walker impressive in 5th ahead of Peter Lague, Robert Bailey 7th and David Wheel in 8th, which again was fairly impressive in the invitational class.
Mike Watton, first win, first race, how satisfying was that?
Yeah, really satisfying. Obviously, you come back after last year having won it, and you know everyone starts from zero again. So to start with a win is, I think, really important for the year. So car was fantastic, start to finish. So yeah, perfect start.
Did you have to do much to the car over the winter?
No, just general upkeep. We put some new bodywork on, maybe took some weight out the car a little bit. We're running a different engine this year, but it's actually same spec as we had last year, basically. So yeah, ultimately, mechanically, we're running pretty much the same package.
Same again in race 2?
Absolutely. Be the reverse grid, so a bit of a different kettle of fish, but we'll see what happens.
Good luck for now. Go and enjoy it.
Thank you.
Paul, we spoke to you before the race. You wanted the top spot, unfortunately second, but still not bad for the first race.
No, I'll take it. I mean, obviously I would have liked to be one step higher on the podium, but my start wasn't great. I got far too much wheel spin and got very, very sideways and had to back out. So from that point onwards, it was always going to be a question of recovery, and I got lucky when Dan decided to put a wheel on the cement dust and took the second.
I was going to mention that it's a bit treacherous out there with the cement dust down, a bit of oil on the track.
It was nowhere near as bad as it was this morning, but and most of the circuit was fine, but just around Graham Hill you had to be absolutely bang on line, and stray a little bit off, it got very slippery, and Dan was very helpful by doing that.
Well, congratulations, go and enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Dan, I thought you had second place, but that cement dust didn't do you any favours.
Not at all, no. I think after about 3 or 4 laps I'd given up on Michael, and Paul was still on my tail and chasing hard, so it was a kind of just try and keep him back, but I made just the tiniest little mistake, ran 6 inches wide, got a wheel on the cement dust, and it spun up coming out of there, and there's nothing I could do to stop him coming by, so yeah, hey ho.
What can you do to catch Dan?
We've got a few changes to the car we've got planned already, just to see if we can get to Michael's pace a little bit better. So hopefully that'll give us a pace then to stay away from Paul and chase Michael down for tomorrow.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.